I was starting to question whether I was actually any good at this mum thing.
She was like, oh, that's awful, you should be breastfeeding your child.
She really helped me realise actually that I'm not the only one out there who's struggling.
He's like, don't you dare do anything else. Just sit on that sofa and get that boob out. But breastfeed everyone.
Yeah.
And I thought she'd arrive and it would all just go really smoothly, and it didn't happen that way at all.
It was my intention to breastfeed them both, only because obviously it's been brought down from generations because my mum breastfed us.
I was hoping to breastfeed. I thought if I can breastfeed for a couple of weeks, that'll be great.
I just chose to formula feed because at the time I was 18 and I thought, you know, that was the thing to do because that's what I saw everybody do.
I'd never really thought much about the fact that I'd never actually breastfed before, and also this is also another tiny human being that has also never done it. Like two people trying to ballroom dance, expecting that you'd be like professionals on Strictly after like the first day.
Even though I was set on wanting to formula feed, when I'd had her, there was the pushing from everybody to breastfeed. And I did feel really guilty afterwards. There was one occasion I went to a chemist and I was looking for formula, and I asked the lady who worked there, and she was like, oh, that's awful, you should be breastfeeding your child. I felt really bad buying this milk, and I actually felt embarrassed taking it to the till because I thought, are other people going to judge me? I ended up getting postnatal depression because of the pressure of feeling guilty.
His first feed just felt all wrong. He had a really bad tongue tie. Tongue tie is a restriction with the tongue that prevents a baby from feeding properly. We got to a point where I physically couldn't allow him to latch on without biting the flannel. There's no way to describe the pain, it's just...
But breastfeed everyone.
Yeah. I was starting to question whether I was actually any good at this mum thing.
A week after she was born, I unfortunately hemorrhaged, so I was rushed back to hospital. That's all that was on my mind was she needs to be breastfed, she needs to be breastfed. And I do remember the first night in hospital, because they let her stay over, was like the hardest night ever. Even just lifting her out of the cot was a struggle.
My daughter was premature and very, very small, and we had a big struggle with feeding. I was just really determined to at least kind of feed her until her due date.
In India, it's quite taboo to just get any sort of form of body part out for a female. So I sort of was quite conscious about it at first, whereas now it's just like, I don't care.
I had a really helpful midwife who showed me how to express. And I honestly think that without expressing and also feeling like I had the freedom to kind of top her up with formula, we wouldn't have been able to continue on breastfeeding. It was like having stabilisers for a little bit.
When I was pregnant with my second baby, I was like, nope, she's not having formula, she's having breast milk. I ended up getting mastitis 4 times. I did use the cabbage leaves. My grandma told me about it, it's quite old-fashioned. And then blocked ducts as well, and used to have to be sat there just massaging, you know, these blocked ducts, and the pain was awful, but I had to just put up with it. When I got, you know, really poorly, the doctor said you need to stop breastfeeding now. It's affecting you, so I decided to formula feed, and it was just the best decision that I made. The pressure was off. It was amazing.
As soon as I walk through that door after work, he's like, don't you dare do anything else. Don't you dare. Just sit on that sofa and get that boob out. It is really exhausting, to be honest, and that's why now, more so than before, I have been determined to try and wean him off. I think just for my own peace of mind and for my own sanity.
I did continue to breastfeed until she was 6 months old, and that's when we then introduced formula. It meant Dad and other family members could feed, so it meant I could relax a little bit sometimes. We did both and she's absolutely fine.
My mum's actually my quite a strong support system, as well as my husband. I mean, when it came to breastfeeding, obviously she was feeding me like I tell you, it was like 24 hours round the clock feeding.
We got a breast specialist who came in and she was literally on the end of a phone, and I would text her all hours. She would come to my house literally, and she was so hands-on. She was amazing, and she taught me how to breastfeed properly. She really helped me realise actually that like I'm not the only one out there who's struggling.
We have a breastfeeding group where I live. It's not funded, but the ladies that run it don't want to stop because mums need that support.
And parenting magazines, you get 2-3 pages on how to breastfeed, but no advice on how to formula feed. So I joined another Facebook group, and that is a lot more supportive. If you breastfeed, whippy-do. You know, if you want to formula feed, great. If you want to do both, brilliant. They don't judge you.
For me, breastfeeding was actually something that was really important, not just in terms of nutrition, but also in terms of bonding and actually convenience.
Your baby cries, your baby's sad, you can sit down anywhere and feed your baby.
I feel really privileged that I've been able to successfully breastfeed both of my babies. But I've been really lucky that it worked for us, and we just continued until we were done.
So with my 4th baby that I'm expecting, I'm not even attempting breastfeeding. I'm going straight onto formula. There's a saying, happy baby, happy mum. So if baby's happy, then I should be happy. So if I'm suffering, then it shouldn't matter really. If mum's not, you know, able to cope, then baby's going to suffer. I think realising that whichever way you do feed your baby, they're going to love you, they're going to turn out healthy, they're going to be happy.
So I think next time, I do think I'll do both, and I think there's nothing wrong in that at all. I feel like being a new mum, you just worry about everything. You worry if you're doing it right, you worry about people looking at you, are they judging you? And I mean, second time round, I really won't care. It gets better, and just look at your baby's face and see that they're happy, they love you, you're literally their world, and it's okay, you're doing it right.